Femyoz is a name you have probably heard of in one way or another, whether it's the streams I've done with him, the clips from Augie RFC, or more recently a Cheetos video. Femyoz is generally not liked in most communities he tries to insert himself into, and I wanted to figure out why. In this video, we will dive into Femyoz over 10-year-long internet history, all of his significant controversies, and see if all of the hate is warranted. Timestamps as always will be down below, and without wasting any of your time, let's get into the history of Femyoz. Femyoz has been on the internet for over a decade at this point, going through dozens of different names on over 5 different channels. And just to save you all some confusion, I'm going to call each channel by what it's named today rather than any old aliases they might have had, at least as of 2023. His first known channel is called Leroy's MC, started a little over 10 years ago on May 27th, 2013. With a channel this old, there are bound to be private and unlisted videos, but regardless, the first public video available was posted 7 months later, on December 27th. It is titled MLP YTP, YTP meaning YouTube poop for those unaware. It's some weird My Little Pony edit. This channel would continue to post YouTube poops and MLG edits, that is, until 3 years later. On December 28th, 2016, he would post the first ever video containing his face and voice.
One day, I woke up in a chair!
This is the same year he would start his second channel, at the time called Dice, later renamed to Leroy's. The content on this channel would more align with what he makes today, although it would take a couple years for that to show through. Femyoz would spend the next 3 years posting skits and occasional meme edits on the Leroy's MC channel, while on his Leroy's channel, he would continue to post more commentary-style videos. After those 3 years in July of 2020, he would stop uploading on Leroy's altogether. Meanwhile, his Leroy's MC channel would shift focus to Minecraft PvP content, uploading Minecraft content until late December of 2022, where he would have his final live stream, and stop being active on this channel altogether. He would return to his Leroy's channel in August after a 2-year hiatus with a video titled Will I Ever Return to YouTube, which is where his blatant ego would first appear. He acts as if his 900 subscriber YouTube channel is being suppressed by YouTube.
As much as I'd like to sit here and pretend like I stopped uploading because YouTube is out to get me, that couldn't be any further from the truth, because on its own, it's not nearly enough to push my stubborn ass off the platform.
Claiming YouTube is out to get me, an opinion that would carry on to the Femyoz channel over a year later. Femyoz would start his now main channel around a month after this video would be posted, starting off his channel with a YouTube short titled Common Femboy W. In this YouTube short, he would state that around 7 months earlier is when he would come out as a femboy to his girlfriend and publicly. This timeline also lines up with his live streams on his Minecraft channel, where his viewers reference him as being a femboy, and the thumbnails include a femboy Minecraft character. 6 days later, he would post the first video on his channel, titled How to Become a Femboy. He is noticeably more uncomfortable in front of the camera in this video, and videos to come in my opinion. He doesn't act like someone who's been doing YouTube for over 10 years, he acts brand new, like someone who hasn't been in front of a camera before. If we go back just a month to his Leroy's video, he seems way more confident and outspoken, and excited, whereas Femyoz, at least in this video, seems pretty awkward. This is likely due to the fact that this is the only public video where he addresses himself as a femboy and dresses as one, so it could be a little awkward just to start. But now on to the modern day. Over his 7 months under the alias of Femyoz, he has shown extreme ignorance, lack of responsibility, a massive ego, and refusal to change. I'm going to group the controversies into categories so you can easily skip around. We'll start with the doxing, then his live streams and debates. We will also touch on his degeneracy, and then end off with his blatant entitlement and ego. Feel free to skip around to specific sections as they aren't exactly connected, and I'll give my conclusion at the end. So Femyoz has verifiably doxed at least 2 people, one being Twitter user ValidEls and one being a 14-year-old that I will keep anonymous for this video, past what's publicly available. We're gonna start with ValidEls. ValidEls is a Twitter user with almost 100,000 Twitter followers, posting less than tasteful memes about transgender people. Femyoz claims the reason he doxed ValidEls is as follows. Basically, ValidEls is a serial doxer who has doxed countless innocent trans people on the basis of them being trans. All I did was spread his dox because he is a serial doxer. Anyone who says it's over a political disagreement is either stupid or lying to you. Keep in mind, I never once mentioned a political disagreement with Femyoz and ValidEls. Additionally, when I asked for clarification on ValidEls doxing people, he said this: it's common knowledge. If you're stupid and don't believe me, you can research this. I'm not making your video for you. I found this a little strange because he is directly involved with the situation. Who better than to ask him, right? Add that to the fact that I couldn't really find anything. One article I found, which was tied to tweets that verify what it was saying, and I know this is a Know Your Meme article, but bear with me, this is legitimately the best I could find. It says that Kiwi Farms had a lot to play in these doxings, but ValidEls didn't really have any direct ties to any of these, let alone serial doxing like Femyoz was claiming. There was a Telegram group chat where they would make jokes about doxing people, but I couldn't really find any explicit proof of this Telegram group chat leading to actual doxings. And obviously Femyoz wasn't exactly any help with this, and immediately turned hostile when I asked for proof of his claims. I think ValidEls is an idiot and genuinely a bad person, but I really couldn't find anything concrete about him doxing people. This leads me to believe that at best, Femyoz didn't do research before spreading a dox around, or at worst, he is lying and spread the dox of someone around who was innocent of what he claims. If someone is able to prove me wrong here, I'll take it on the chin, obviously, and I'll make a pinned comment in a community post correcting myself. I couldn't get proper proof of what Femyoz was claiming from him, and my research also didn't really show anything. I don't really want to believe Femyoz blatantly lied to me here, but it's either that or him lacking in research at this point. The situation involving the 14-year-old has been called doxing by many people, and I don't necessarily agree completely. It would more align with soft doxing if that term even exists, but just keep that in mind when I tell you about this. The 14-year-old, originally believed to be 15, was a mod in Femyoz's Discord server. The reason Femyoz decided to dox this child was because he nuked Femyoz's Discord server. Keep in mind, Femyoz has less than 1,500 subscribers as of recording. His Discord would have had a fraction of that at least, and as of recording, the server sits at less than 100 members. Although I don't know how many people were there before the nuking, it's an overreaction to say the least. Femyoz in a live stream titled The Most Petty Stream I've Ever Done, that has since been deleted, proceeds to dox the child's face and entire DM history. The DMs include personal and emotional topics. Obviously, I'm not going to go into specifics here. What makes this all worse is that Femyoz claims he was being a good role model to the 14-year-old.
We're like kind of like friends, you know, we talk. I give him advice, you know, I'm like a good role model for this person.
Advocated for the harassment of the 14-year-old.
Except maybe now, I don't know. If somebody wants to harass him, I don't care.
And kept doubling down even when chat told him that he was going too far.
Femyoz, this isn't a good idea, dude. I don't know what you mean. It's a great idea. You know, all you have to do to not have me leak your DMs is don't backstab me and don't be a lying sack of shit. That's all you have to do. Don't trauma dump and then have me trust you by being vulnerable to me and then expect me to not use that against you if you backstab me. Like, if you backstab me, you're fucked, right? Homie, this is 100% gonna backfire? Nah, it's a great idea. I'm not gonna take a step back. I'm sure it'll be fine, alright? No one cares.
Femyoz has since apologized and deleted the stream and shown regret for these actions. However, it's hard to tell if this was because of outside pressure or genuine remorse. Obviously, having your Discord server nuked sucks. Sure, whatever, right? But if it has less than 100 members or around that number, it's not really a huge deal. It's not nearly a reason to dox someone and advocate for harassment, leak their face and entire DMs. It just doesn't really make sense to me. It's just silly. Not really much else to say here. It's just objectively scummy behavior, so let's move on to the live streams. The two main topics I want to talk about here involve the Augie RFC stream and a 12-hour live stream that Femyoz did where he uses his fan base as his personal therapy. The Augie RFC stream, which also will be linked down below, involved a debate with Keffels and Jalen and Tipster. There's a whole backstory to it, but I don't think it's important for this, and I really don't want to watch the 6-hour live stream to get the entirety of what was going on, as it doesn't really matter. Eventually in the stream, Jalen added Femyoz, who was not supposed to be involved at all, and started trying to debate Augie on trans issues.
What is the argument then?
That gender-affirming care has been statistically proven to decrease the rate of minors. I didn't label anybody as
This is a fucking drama stream. We're laughing at
your words
even
now.
are you?
Go take that to your personal Twitter. What the
Why?
Literally do not give a single fuck about who you are. I don't care.
Well, it's not a debate about who I am. It's a debate about the issues itself.
Who are
right?
you?
Like, surely...
Wait, is this
Why
Bunk?
does that matter?
Wait, are you Bunk?
No.
Okay, I just
first
wanted to
of
make
all,
sure.
no. Secondly, is the validity of my argument dictated by whether or not you know who I am?
What are you even
Or do you
saying
think
right
it should
now?
be dictated by the
even-
actual logic and reasoning of my arguments?
What is happening?
Okay.
Who
I'll
are
ask
you?
again.
Introduce yourself. Who the fuck are you?
Hello, hi, I'm Femyoz. I'm here to debate you.
Fox on Twitter right now.
OnlyFans.com/Femyoz.
You're on OnlyFans. You're a sick.
OnlyFans.com/Femyoz.
Peace.
You're on OnlyFans. Where did everyone go?
OnlyFans.com/.
Yeah, nobody's buying your OnlyFans. You freak.
He was pretty obviously laughed off the call. Nobody really paid attention to what he was saying, as there wasn't supposed to be a serious debate about trans issues. But regardless, here's what Femyoz had to say on the Tommy C stream where he talks about the situation.
Yeah, like, from my perspective, like, I was just, like, seeing people, you know, in this, whatever, this YouTuber, Discord server or whatever, where it was just YouTubers, saying whatever, you know, oh, Augie's gone, mask off.
Listen,
he says he hates
fuckhead.
trans people now.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and you know, I was like, okay, you know, I've seen, you know, some shit he said before about
Makes
whatever,
sense.
HRT,
Sure.
and gender affirming care for minors, and I'm like, okay, I think the root of the issue here, you know, between, you know, him and Keffals is their disagreement, so I want to address the root of the issue, and then maybe they won't hate each other anymore, and then everybody will just.
So you really came into this with the best of intentions. I get that vibe from you.
This, I feel like, is a blatant lie. I don't see a world in which Femyoz wanted to be this graceful mediator that solves the issues between Augie and Keffals. I just think he legitimately wanted to argue about trans issues with Augie. He joined a stream he knew nothing about, admitted he knew nothing about the stream, and then before he was laughed off, he plugged his OnlyFans. Even as a joke, it's just so weird. I don't know why you would think that's a good idea, but let's move on. The other stream I wanted to cover is a 12-hour live stream that he did titled The Next Vosh. At around the 7 to 8 hour mark, he looks visibly upset, almost to the point of tears, and throughout the stream, he trauma dumps and uses his chat as therapy. Obviously, I'm going to provide clips to back this up.
Okay, you know what? No, I'm too stupid to. Oh god, I'm not gonna even comment. I'm just dumb. I'm dumb. I'm brain dead. I get it. I think it's just a me thing. I think I'm just insecure. It's whatever. I think I'm insecure. Is all thinking. I was thinking about something. No, maybe I wasn't. Maybe I'm just dumb. I'm just dumb.
It may seem like I'm reaching here, but trust me, I'm getting somewhere with this. But I think it's just best to move on to the degeneracy topic, cover this there, as well as some smaller topics that I didn't want to group in on their own. First, to complement the end of the last section, let's discuss his guilt-tripping and attention-baiting behavior. The 12-hour live stream does a good job showing this, basically begging for compliments or reassurance. Add this to the fact that Femyoz basically suicide-baited through a community post. It's pretty long, and I don't want this video to drag. It's on screen now if you want to read it yourself, but I'll just read out some of the important bits that I found. I'm starting to think I don't have a chance, and that maybe I'm not talented or smart enough to do this as a career, no matter what, which is also terrifying because I don't know what else to do. I don't enjoy anything else, and most jobs and career paths are just literal torture to me. I genuinely enjoy streaming and producing video content. It's one of the few things that I could potentially do as a job that would be fulfilling enough for me to do to not want to kill myself if I were to do it for the rest of my life. Literally, what is the point of existing if I hate my life and am miserable 24/7? There is obviously more than this, but I'm sure you get the point. When he started getting pushback for this, he made multiple posts afterwards, also mentioning suicide. My guess is to tarnish the previous one and make it look like satire. The issue with this, if it's true, is that Femyoz is very open about having mental health issues, and it's obvious this was genuine, and he feels entitled to a platform he hasn't earned. And because he isn't famous on YouTube yet, he is threatening harm upon himself, which is genuinely just psycho behavior. Another thing I want to bring up is his defense of Natty Forsyth. I'm obviously not going to delve into the entirety of the Natty Forsyth story, but to quickly summarize it, while Natty was 18, she sent Roblox NSFW to a Discord server filled with minors, as well as posting NSFW to her Twitter, sending gore to minors, and acting sexually with jokes and comments to someone who she believed to be 14, all while making Roblox content and having a child-based following. Femyoz is pretty adamant about defending her, claiming she's changed, but genuinely from everything I've researched, Natty is just a vile, gross person, and I don't know why them changing would suddenly invalidate what they did. They still acted like a freak. It doesn't matter if they saved 10 kittens from a burning building, they still acted weird to minors in their fan base. Add that to the fact that they made a now deleted video defending maps. I think it's pretty clear what type of person Natty is, and I don't think they deserve an online platform. Baiting self-harm and defending someone who is objectively a weirdo is obviously not the best. There are a couple more stories I could have gone into, but I don't want this video to drag, so let's move on. Talking about Femyoz's ego is probably going to be the shortest section in this video. The Augie stream where he feels entitled to a debate when he wasn't even invited on, him feeling entitled to YouTube fame, and him just acting better and holier than thou than most people. There isn't much you can say here that you haven't already seen in this video. So I think it's best just to move on to my final thoughts and not let this video drag. I don't think Femyoz is a bad person or evil or anything, but I really don't think he's good either. From doxing and advocating for the harassment of a minor to arguably lying about his reasons reasoning for doxing valid Ls, and finally baiting self-harm because of YouTube fame. I think it's pretty clear why Femyoz doesn't have the fame he so desperately wants. He has a massive ego, and I genuinely think he isn't going to grow in any significant way until he is humbled, but due to his friend group of commentary rejects constantly praising everything he does, I just can't see that happening. I want Femyoz to grow, but in the past few months he's been around, he's basically just ruined his reputation, and I'm not sure if something like that can be fixed at this point. He seems self-aware enough to realize that he's ruining any credibility he has, but he's also not showing any effort to try and fix it. If anything, I think this video is going to feed into his need for attention online and nothing else. I hope he can grow to be a better person and content creator, but I'm not sure if or when that can happen. But I think that's everything. If you guys have any questions or clarification, I'll answer what I can in the comments. And if you guys want to share your own opinions, obviously leave them down below. I don't really think there's anything else I can talk about on this topic. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.